की जय। प्रीतिदासी प्रसाद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Mataji. Accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago, Illinois.
Hare Krishna, Yashwamati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Daksdas from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindaks Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devi Dasi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. So I am Purna Prakash Prabhu from New Jersey.
Purna Prakash. Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Purna Prakash Gaura Prabhu. Okay. Hare Krishna, Purna Prakash Gaura Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else who would like to introduce? Anyone who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your wonderful services behind the screen. And thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. As soon as you introduced yourselves, I don't know what happened to my iPad. The volume boosted up and it was so loud. Maybe with your technical thing, you made my iPad to sound it loud or what?
All glories to your wonderful services. God knows what happened there.
Anyone else who would like to introduce?
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Dandavad Pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to Guru Maharaj. All glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. I think Prabhuji has joined. We can start. Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for the morning session of Srimad Bhagavatam. And today's class will be given by His Grace Radhika Vallabha Prabhu. And the verses are from Canto 8, Chapter 7, verse 22. Hare Krishna, Radhika Vallabha Prabhu. Are you available?
Where did you see him, Mataji? I don't
Yes,
see him in
Mataji.
the
I
call.
think it is in Kalpagam Ramamurthy.
Okay, now he's done.
Yeah, now he's there. Okay, fine. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us your valuable time and association. And thank you so much for coming on the call. And we are eagerly waiting for the class. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Obeisances to all the devotees assembled in this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference. I want to express my gratitude to the devotees for giving this opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll begin with the Mangalacharana prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandalaya Cha Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from the 8th canto, chapter 7, verse number 22. The very famous episode from the Srimad Bhagavatam, popularly known as Samudra Mantana. The demigods and the demons are churning the ocean in order to get the nectar. We are reading the section where from the Samudra Manthan the poison has come out, and on the advice of Lord Vishnu, the Devatas have approached Lord Shiva with a request to Lord Shiva to consume that poison and save the entire world. So when they go to Lord Shiva, they are glorifying Lord Shiva. We are reading a verse from that particular section. Tvameka sarva jagata ishvaro bandha mokshayoho tam tvamarchanti kushala prapannartiharam gurum. Word to word translation. Tvamekaha, your lordship is indeed sarva jagataha, of the three worlds. Ishvaraha, the controller. Bandha mokshayoho, of both bondage and liberation. Tam, that controller. Tvam archanti, worship you. Kushalaha, persons who want good fortune. Prapannarti haram, who can mitigate all the distresses of a sheltered devotee. Gurum, you who act as a good advisor to all the fallen souls. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O Lord, you are the cause of bondage and liberation of the entire universe, because you are its ruler. Those who are advanced in spiritual consciousness surrender unto you, and therefore you are the cause of mitigating their distresses. And you are also the cause of their liberation. We therefore worship your Lordship. Purport. Actually, Lord Vishnu maintains and accomplishes all good fortune. If one has to take shelter of Lord Vishnu, why should the demigods take shelter of Lord Shiva? They did so because Lord Vishnu acts through Lord Shiva in the creation of the material world. Lord Shiva acts on behalf of Lord Vishnu. When the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 14.4, that is Sarva Yonisha Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavantiya Tasam Brahma Mahadyonir Agam Bija Pradapita. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita that He is the father of all living entities, Agam Bija Pradapita. This refers to actions performed by Lord Vishnu through Lord Shiva. Lord Vishnu is always unattached to material activities. And when material activities are to be performed, Lord Vishnu performs them through Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is therefore worshipped on the level of Lord Vishnu. When Lord Vishnu is untouched by the external energy, he is Lord Vishnu. But when he is in touch with the external energy, he appears in his feature as Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing the shloka where the Devatas are glorifying Lord Shiva. Tvameka sarva jagata Ishvaro bandha mokshayoho tam tvam archanti kushala prapannarti haram gurum. Tvam yekah, you alone. Sarva jagatah Ishvaraha. You are the controller. You alone are the controller of the whole universe. And bandha mokshayoho Ishvara. You are the controller of the bondage and liberation. Kushalaha tvam archanti. Kushalaha, intelligent people, They worship you because you are the Prapannarti Haram Gurum. You take away the distress of the surrendered souls. So, this is how the Devatas are glorifying Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. So, we see in this purport, in this episode of the Samudra Manthan, how the Devatas are, they are one-pointed in getting the nectar. There were so many obstacles which come in the course of getting the nectar, but they did not get distracted by those obstacles. There's a verse in Bhartruhari's Niti Shataka. Bhartruhari says that Ratnair Maharhais Tutushur na Ratnair Maharhais Tutushur na Deva na Bejire Bhima Vishena Bhitim Sudam Vina na Prayur Viramam na Nishchitartat Viramanti Dhiraha. What is the meaning? That the Devatas, they did not become satisfied by getting valuable jewels in the course of churning the ocean. They got very valuable jewels also. But they did not remain satisfied. And they did not become afraid when the poison came. And the Devatas did not stop till they achieved the goal of getting the nectar. Sudam vina viramam na prayayuhu. So therefore, dhiraha nishchitartha na viramanti. The dhira purushas, the determined people, the sober people, they never stop their effort till they achieve their goal. So this shows about the determined, sober people. Therefore, the Bhartruhari says in one place that about the 3 levels of determination, prarabhyate na khalu vignabayena nichaihi. The lowest people, they don't even start your work out of fear of obstacles. Prarabhya vigna nihata viramanti madhyaha. Mediocre people, they start an activity, but when the obstacles come, they stop the activity. Vignair muhur muhurapi pratihanyamana prarabdha muttama guna na parityajanti. The people with the highest level of determination, they don't stop the activity despite facing repeated obstacles. That's what we see in the case of the Devatas. No. So here, Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Vishnu acts through Lord Shiva in the creation of the material world. Lord Vishnu is acting on behalf of Lord Vishnu. So here, Lord Vishnu, although he himself could have consumed that poison, but Lord Vishnu, he wants to glorify his devotee, Lord Shiva. Therefore, he is telling the Devatas to approach Lord Shiva. Namo Vishuddha Sattvaya Haraye Harimedase Vasudevaya Krishnaya Prabhave Sarvasatvatam. The Prachetas, they glorify Lord Vishnu that you always increase the influence of your devotees. Krishna always tries to make his devotee more famous. Nimitta matram bhavasabhya sachin. I have already killed all these people assembled in the battlefield. But may you become my nimitta, may you take the credit. You take the credit. So Krishna wants to increase the influence of his devotees. He wants to. Therefore, Lord Vishnu is telling the Devatas to approach Lord Shiva. So, when Krishna says that Aham Bija Pradap Pita, I am the seed-giving father of all the living entities, this refers to Lord Vishnu's actions through Lord Shiva. We will discuss about this point also. Krishna is the seed-giving father. Krishna's actions of creation through Lord Shiva. Because Lord Vishnu is always unattached to the material activity. He is always unattached to the three gunas. When the activities in relation to the material world are to be performed, then Lord Vishnu performs them through Lord Shiva. There's a famous shloka which comes, it comes in the Bhagavatam, 10th canto. Harirhi nirguna sakshat. Harirhi nirguna sakshat purusha prakrite paraha Shiva shakti yuta shashvat trilingo gunasamvritaha. Harirhi nirguna sakshat. The Supreme Lord Hari is always uncontaminated by the modes of material nature. Nirguna. And Purusha Prakrite Paraha, because he is beyond the material manifestation, is eternally not in touch with the three modes of nature. But on the other hand, Shiva Shakti Yuta Shashvat Trilingo Gunasamvrataha. On the other hand, powerful Lord Shiva carries the marks of the three modes of material nature. Trilingo Gunasamvrataha. He carries the marks of the three modes of material nature. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, when Lord Vishnu is untouched by the external energy, he is Lord Vishnu. But when he is in touch with the external energy, he appears in his feature as Lord Shiva. So Lord Vishnu in touch with external energy is Lord Shiva. So in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Shiva is explained in a very nice, beautiful shloka by Lord Brahma. When the Vaishnavas see Lord Shiva, based on the understanding given in the Brahma Samhita. Prabhupada writes in a purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Mahaprabhu went to Kashi, he performed a Sankirtan. He visited the temple of Lord Shiva. The Prabhupada says that when the Vaishnavas go to the temples of the Devatas, they see the Devatas according to the understanding given in the Brahma Samhita. The understanding of the position of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Agni, Indra, Durga, as given in the Brahma Samhita. And then he quotes the Brahma Samhita shlokas. So the Brahma Samhita, Lord Shiva is described as Kshiram Yatha Dadivikara Vishesha Yogat Sanjayate Nahitata Pratagasti Heto Yash Shambhutam Apitata Samupaiti Karyat Govindam Adipurusham Tamakam Bhajami. Just like milk is transformed into curd by the action of the acids, but yet the effect curd is neither same as nor different from its cause, that is the milk. So I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. So this is how Brahma Samhita describes. Lord Vishnu is compared to the milk and Lord Shiva is compared to the curd. Lord Vishnu assumes this position for the purpose of destruction. Srila Jiva Goswami, in his commentary to Brahma Samhita, he makes an important comment. So just like milk is transformed into yogurt by contact with the transforming agent, similarly, Sri Govinda, Lord Krishna, accepts the form of Shambhu or Shiva in order to accomplish a specific purpose. And then he says, the example of yogurt is actually given in order to convey the idea of cause and effect, not the idea of transformation. Because Sri Krishna, he cannot be transformed. Sri Krishna is reality and he cannot be transformed. Because the absolute truth never undergoes transformation. Just like the Atma himself does not undergo transformation like the body. Najayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhujah ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Body undergoes transformation, but the Atma does not undergo transformation. So even the supreme absolute truth does not undergo transformation. So the example is given in order to convey the idea of a cause and effect and not the idea of transformation. Because Sri Krishna cannot be transformed, it is not possible for him to undergo any kind of distortion. Just like a Chintamani jewel transforms other things into gold, whatever comes in contact with Chintamani jewel gets transformed into gold. So the Chintamani jewel himself does not undergo transformation. So this is the comment given by Jiva Goswami. This shows that the cause is Lord Vishnu and the effect is Lord Shiva. The effect is dependent on the cause, but the cause is independent of the effect. The effect is non-different from the cause, but the cause is different from the effect. This is the Achintya Bheda Tattva. So Lord Shiva is dependent on Lord Vishnu, is non-different from Vishnu. But Vishnu is independent of Shiva and Vishnu is independent. Vishnu is different from Shiva. So this is the understanding given. So therefore, in the Hari Bhakti Vilasa, when Sanatana Goswami describes the second Namaparada, he says that Shivasya Shri Vishnur Ya Iha Guna Namadi Sakalam Dhiya Bhinnam Pashyet Sakhalu Harinama Hitakaraha. In this shloka, he says that anybody who considers the name, qualities, etc. of Shiva and Vishnu to be Dhiya Bhinnam. So the word Dhiya Bhinnam, it can be when you do the Sandhi Vicheda, it can be split in two different ways. Dhiya plus Bhinnam or Dhiya plus Abhinnam. In both these two ways, the Sandhi Vicheda can be done. Both the meanings are applicable. Anyone who considers the name of Shiva and Vishnu to be completely non-different, that means Dhiya Abhinnam, he is an offender to the, such a person is an offender to the Harinam. And similarly, anybody who considers the name and qualities of Shiva and Vishnu to be completely different, Dhiya Bhinnam, those who consider to be completely different, they are also committing a namaparad. They are also committing a namaparad. So, dhiya plus binnam, it means that using one's intelligence, considering them to be completely different. Dhiya plus abinnam, considering, that means by using one intelligence, considering Shiva and Vishnu to be completely non-different. Both kinds of conceptions, the person having both kinds of conceptions or any of these conceptions is considered to be is considered to be committing namaparad. So therefore, what is the right understanding? The right understanding is that Lord Shiva is simultaneously non-different from Vishnu and also different from Vishnu. This is the right understanding. So when in English, when we translate the namaparada, what do we say? To consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva to be equal to or independent of Vishnu. To be equal to or independent of Vishnu. So that's how the meaning of the Sanskrit was captured in this translation. Because when you consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva to be equal to Vishnu, that means you are considering Shiva and Vishnu when you consider the names of Lord Vishnu to be independent of Vishnu, that means you are considering Shiva to be different from Vishnu. Diya binnam. Then also you are committing namapara. So therefore, the right understanding is that Lord Shiva is simultaneously non-different from Vishnu and also different from Vishnu. So Sanatana Goswami also says in the commentary. The conclusion is that to consider Sri Vishnu as a separate deity and Sri Shiva as a separate deity and then offer obeisances to them, that is a namapara. That is not appropriate for the Vaishnavas. To offer obeisances to Shiva is to consider them as separate. Vishnu is separate and Shiva is separate. And then in that way worship them is certainly not appropriate for a Vaishnava. So anybody who thinks that Shiva is a completely different deity and Vishnu is a completely different deity, and then he goes to and offers obeisances to Shiva, he is disrespecting Shiva. That person is certainly an offender. Such behavior is not appropriate for the Vaishnavas. So, but however, knowing that just like Matsya Avatar is a avatar of the Lord, Matsya Avatar is a Leela Avatar of Vishnu. Similarly, Shiva is a Gunavatar of Vishnu. And in this way, see the non-difference between Shiva and Vishnu. That when you see like that, then there is no fault. In fact, seeing Shiva as a Gunavatar of Vishnu is a favor leads to devotion to Vishnu. So therefore, the right vision of Shiva is that seeing the seeing the difference and non-difference between Shiva and Vishnu simultaneously. So therefore, Hari Bhakti Vilas Sanatana Goswami quotes a shloka. Madbhakta Shankara Dveshi Madveshi Shankara Priyaha Ubau Tau Narakam Yatau Yavat Chandra Divakaro. One who is my devotee but who envies Shiva, and one who is a devotee of Shankara but envies me. Both these people attain a hellish situation for as long as the sun and moon exist. So this verse is quoted. So another verse he says that Yaha Shiva Sohameveha Yogam Sa Bhagavan Shivaha Nayayor Antaram Kinchit Akasha Anilayoriva. He who is Shiva is non-different from Vishnu. And I too am non-different from Shiva. There is non-difference between us, just as there is non-difference between the sky and the air. Like that the verse is quoted. So therefore, that one should have the right understanding of Shiva. And so Lord Shiva is worshipped in 5 different ways. What are these 5 different ways? That somebody worships Lord Shiva as the independent Bhagavan. This is the concept of the Shaivaites, seeing them as completely independent of Vishnu. Second, as the presiding deity of the Tamoguna. This is another way to worship Lord Shiva. And third, as a devotee of Vishnu. And then fourthly, as a partial manifestation of Vishnu. Like a Gunavatara. And fifth is, one can worship Lord Shiva as a Adhishtana occupied by Vishnu. A seat occupied by Vishnu, that is an agent representative of Vishnu manifesting his powers. In this case, one is worshipping Vishnu through him. These are the 5 ways by which Shiva is worshipped. Out of these 5 ways, the first type of worship is forbidden, considering worshipping him as an independent Bhagavan. That is a Namapara. It will lead to degradation. Second type of worship, seeing Shiva as a presiding deity of Tamoguna, it will yield only material benefit. In the other 3 ways, considering him as a Vaishnava, as a partial manifestation of Vishnu, or as a seat occupied by Vishnu, the other 3 types of worship can award the highest benefit. So Srimad Bhagavatam, the mood of Srimad Bhagavatam is that it presents the essence of the Vedas. Tadidam grahayamasa sutam atmavatam varam sarva vedetihasanam saram samudrutam. Bhagavatam contains the essence of all the Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas. That is why the Bhagavatam begins with a question. Tatra tatranjasa yushman bhavatam bhavatam cha yad vinishchitam pumsam ekantata shreyas tanna shamsitum arhasi. You please tell me, sages are asking Suta Goswami, tell us that what is the highest good of the living entity? Tell us that in a complete way and an easily understandable way. Bhurini bhuri karmani shrotavyani vibhagashaha atas sadotra yatsaram samudritya manishaya bruhi bhadraya lokanam yenatma suprasidati. So they are asking Suta Goswami, there are so many shastras which talk about so many goals and so many means to achieve that goal. But you please tell us the essence of everything. What is the highest goal and what is the path to achieve that? Tell us the essence of everything. Atas sadotra yat saram samudritya manishaya. So therefore, Bhagavatam's of presenting the Shastra is that it is presenting the essence of everything. Therefore, the essence of a person's character is that aspect of the personality where in which a person is devoted to the Supreme Lord. That is the essential aspect of a person's character. That is the just like once when there was an assembly of the sages. At that time, Markandeya Rishi entered. Markandeya Rishi, the oldest among the sages. So everyone offered obeisances to Markandeya Rishi. But Markandeya Rishi offered obeisances to a small child, Parashara, was 5-year-old. And Markandeya Rishi was so many kalpas old. Surprised, why did you offer obeisances to the small child? Then Markandeya Rishi said that the age of a person is to be calculated by how much, to what extent a person has performed a devotional service to Krishna. That portion of his life in which he has devoted himself to Krishna, that is the real. Although I am actually old by years, but this child Parashara is so devoted to Krishna right from the birth. So according to me, that his age is higher than the combined ages of all of us put together because of his supreme devotion. Therefore, I offered obeisances to him. That means the essential, it's like the essential portion of a person's character is that his devotion to the Lord. So therefore, Bhagavatam presents, when the Bhagavatam presents the character of Vritrasura, it presents Vritrasura's character as a Vaishnava. Other scriptures, they present Vritrasura as a villain and Indra as a hero. When the Bhagavatam presents the character of, say, Bhishma Dev, Bhagavatam presents Bhishma Dev's Vaishnava aspect. Bhishma Dev lived for 450 years. But Srimad Bhagavatam presents only that aspect of Bhishma Dev. Just in one chapter it presents Bhishma Dev's devotion to Krishna. Similarly, Lord Shiva is described in many Puranas as a deity in charge of Tamoguna. Many Puranas describe Lord Shiva's activities in Tamoguna. But the Srimad Bhagavatam, when it presents Lord Shiva, it presents Lord Shiva as Bhagavatam describes that Nimnaganam yatha Ganga, Devanam achyuto yatha, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu, Purananam idam tata. Just like among the rivers, Ganga is the topmost and Lord Achyuta is the topmost among the Devatas. Similarly, among the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva is the topmost. And among the Purana, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost. Another place Lord Shiva is presented, the same chapter which we are discussing today. Tapyante lokatapena sadava prayasho janaha paramaradhanam taddi purushasya kilatmanaha. So, the great sadhus, they voluntarily suffer for the sake of others. And by voluntarily, they take up suffering in order to show compassion for others. And that is the highest form of worship of Lord Hari. So, we see in this episode that Lord Shiva is taking up the trouble of consuming the poison for the sake of the entire universe, for the sake of the devotees, devatas who are engaged in this task of churning the milk ocean. So Lord Shiva, he is performing the highest worship of Lord Vishnu by taking up this voluntary suffering for the entire universe. Another place, Lord Shiva is described as Doshan Paresham hi Guneshu Sadavo Grishnanti Kechinna Bhavadrisho Dvija Gunamcha Palgun Bahuli Karishnavo Mahattamab Stesh Avidat Bhavanagam. Sati is actually talking about the character of Lord Shiva, and she also chastises Daksha. A person like you, O Daksha, can simply find fault in the qualities of others. Daksha is described as the incarnation of fault finding, incarnation of Vaishnava Para. Lord Shiva, however, not only finds no faults with others' qualities, but if somebody has a little good quality, he magnifies the good quality greatly. But unfortunately, you have found fault with such a great soul as Lord Shiva. So we see that Srimad Bhagavatam presents Lord Shiva's aspect as the Parama Vaishnava, because that is the mood of the Bhagavatam. Sarva Vedetihasanam Saram Saram Samudrutam. It presents the essential character of a person, the essence of a person. In fact, there is a beautiful shloka in the Bhartruhari's Niti Shataka, which talks about the qualities of the great souls. And both these qualities are exemplified by Lord Shiva. So this shloka says that Manasi Vachasi Kaye Punya Piyusha Purna Tribhuvanam Upakara Shrenibihi Prinayantaha Paraguna Paramanun Parvati Kritya Nityam Nija Hridi Vikasantaha Santi Santaha Kiyantaha. What is the meaning of the shloka? Those people with their body, mind, and words, with their body, mind, and words, who are engaged in the welfare activities of others, and those people who magnify the smallest good quality, which is like a paramanu, but they magnify the smallest good quality paramanu like a big mountain. Such people, such people are very, very rare to find in the samsara. Such saintly people are very, very rare to find in samsara. So these two qualities mentioned of the saintly people, both are described for Lord Shiva in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because this, the verse Tapyante Lokatapena Sadavo Prayashojana Paramaradhanam Taddi Purushasya Kilatmanaga. This verse actually talks about this quality of Lord Shiva, how Lord Shiva performed the highest worship of Vishnu by voluntarily taking up the suffering for the sake of others by consuming poison. And the other quality, magnifying the smallest good quality to be like a mountain, that quality is only spoken by Sati in relation to Lord Shiva, about Lord Shiva. So therefore, we see that this is the personality of Lord Shiva. So when we talk about the personality of Lord Shiva, we can see from three perspectives. One is the Tattvagata Vichara. Tattva Gata Vichara. What is the position of Lord Shiva from Tattva point of view? And another is the Aishwarya Gata Vichara. Lord Shiva's role in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, where he exhibits his opulence. And the third point of view is that Naravat Gata Vichara. Lord Shiva's pastimes in the Lord Shiva's role in the human-like pastimes of Lord Krishna. So we'll see this briefly, these 3 points of view. When we talk about Tattva Gata Vichara, what is the Tattva of Lord Shiva? The Tattva of Lord Shiva, we see, when Krishna desires to create, he expands himself as the Mahashankarshana. And possessing this creative desire, Mahashankarshana expands as the Mahavishnu. And the Mahavishnu then desires to create. And the desire of Mahavishnu takes the form of a light that emanates from between his eyebrows. And that light, the shadow of that light, is called as Shambhu Linga or Shiva. The desire of Mahavishnu to create takes the form of a light, or we can say light or a glance of Mahavishnu. That shadow of that glance or the shadow of that light, that is called as Shambhu Linga. And Mahavishnu's spiritual potency is Rama Devi. And the shadow of Rama Devi is called by the name Yoni. And that Yoni is the Parvati, or Shakti Tattva, or Sati. So therefore, when the glance of Mahavishnu falls upon the Yoni, so at that time, the creation starts. So the union between the Shambhu and the Shakti Tattva, the material nature, the Parvati. So this is the understanding of Lord Shiva from the Tattva point of view. From Tattva point of view. If you see, for any creation, there are two types of causes. Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana. For example, to make a pot, the Upadana Karana is the mud, water. So the Upadana Karana transforms itself to produce the effect. Upadana Karana gets transformed in order to produce the effect. Like the earth, mud, water. Nimitta Karana, without undergoing the transformation, it becomes the cause of producing the effect. For example, for the pot, the wheel does not undergo transformation. Or the stick, or the pot maker, without undergoing transformation, he produces the pot. So it's a Nimitta Karana, Upadana Karana. So the Shambhu is the Upadana Karana. Shambhu is the Upadana Karana, and the Yoni is the Nimitta Karana. So that is described in the Shastras. That in that way, from Tattva point of view, we can see the Lord Shiva's position. So Mahavishnu's eternal instrumental potency, Nimitta Karana, takes its reflected form as Yoni, the limited shadow potency. And the Upadana Karana, ingredient cause, assumes the reflection form of Shambhu Linga. So creation then takes place by the union between Shambhu Linga and his female consort, that is Yoni. So Shambhu is called the Linga of the Supreme Lord, which means that he is a manifest symbol of the Lord's male generative capacity. And he appears for the purpose of preparing the cosmic manifestation. And the potency which gives birth to the material creation is the energy called Maya, and her intrinsic form is Yoni. So this is the understanding of Lord Shiva from Tattva point of view. And next understanding of Lord Shiva is from the Aishwarya Gata Vichara. The first is Tattva Gata Vichara, Lord Shiva's relationship with Krishna from Tattva point of view. Aishwarya Gata Vichara is Lord Shiva's relationship with Krishna from the perspective of Krishna's Aishwarya, Krishna's majesty. So we see there are many stories in the Bhagavatam. I'll not go into every story in detail, but I'll mention the stories. For example, the story of Vrikasura. So Vrikasura was a devotee of Shiva. He got benediction from Lord Shiva that anybody who on whose head he touches, that person will immediately be burned to ashes. After getting the benediction, he wanted to touch the head of Lord Shiva. And then he wanted to enjoy Parvati. So before that, he wanted to kill Lord Shiva. But at that time, Lord Shiva started fleeing. And then he finally surrendered to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu came in the form of a small boy. And then he tricked Vrikasura to touch his own head. We see here in the Aishwarya Gata Vichara, Lord Shiva is Lord Shiva's subordination to Lord Krishna is actually clearly seen. Lord Shiva surrendered to Lord Krishna, and then Lord Krishna came and protected Lord Vishnu. Another example that once the demons, the demigods were fighting with the demons. And then the demons took shelter, demigods defeated the demons. The demons took shelter of the leader Mayadanava. Mayadanava made a 3 mystic airplane-like residences for the demons. After getting those 3 mystic airplanes, the demons began to vanquish all the planetary systems. And the demons, they came and approached Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva assured the demigods came and approached Lord Shiva that please protect us from the demons. So Lord Shiva assured the demigods, I will take care of you. And then Lord Shiva, he fixed his arrows and released them towards the 3 residences occupied by the demons. And all the demons got killed. But then the great mystic Mayadanava, he dropped the bodies of the demons into a nectarian well he had created, and then he brought them back to life. And the demons became practically invincible. So Shiva became worried. So at that time, again, Shiva surrendered to Vishnu. At that time, Krishna came in the form of, at that time, Lord Vishnu took the form of a cow and Lord Brahma became a calf. And they entered that particular well. And they entered that well and they drank all the nectar from that well. Then Krishna equipped Lord Shiva with everything he needed for the battle. he manifested a charioteer, flag, horses, etc. Then Lord Shiva destroyed the 3 residences of the demons, and then he became glorified as Tripurari, the annihilator of the 3 dwellings of the demons. So here also we see in these pastimes Lord Shiva's subordination to Lord Vishnu is clearly seen. So like that, there are also other pastimes. Banasurs fighting with Krishna. That time Shiva took the side of Banasura. And then when Shiva released the Pashupatastra and the Shiva Jwara, but though all those weapons failed, so at that time the Shiva Jwara surrendered to Lord Vishnu's Narayana Jwara. So Lord Shiva surrendered to Lord Krishna and offered his heartfelt prayers. In this, so in this also Lord Shiva, how he surrendered to Krishna, that is exhibited. So in this way, in the Aishwarya Gata Vichara, Lord Shiva surrendered to Krishna is clearly seen. And then there is a Naravat Gata Vichara. When in Krishna's human-like pastimes, for example, when Krishna was a small child in Nandagaon, Lord Shiva would come and sometimes he would give benedictions to Lord Krishna. Lord Shiva would come and then give benedictions to Yashoda and Krishna. In Dwaraka, Krishna and I think Jambavati worshipped Lord Shiva to get Samba as the son. And in Lord Ram's pastime, Lord Ram, when he wanted to cross the ocean to reach Lanka, he worshipped Lord Shiva for the power to do this. So that time he established the Linga of Rameshwara Mahadev and began worshipping him in order to get the mercy of Lord Shiva. So in the human-like pastimes, Lord Shiva sometimes assumed the role of accepting the worship of Lord Ram, accepting the worship of Lord Krishna, or giving benedictions to Lord Krishna. When Lord Ram was worshipping Lord Shiva, all the Shaivaites, they started saying that Rameshwara. See, this Mahadev is the worshipable deity of Ram. So the word Rameshwara can be, it's a samasa, compound word. It can be split in 3 different ways. Sometimes a samasa word, compound word, it can have different meanings depending on what type of samasa is. For example, there's a famous saying that once a beggar approached the king, and the beggar told the king that you and me both are called as Lokanatha. The beggar told that aham cha tvam cha Rajendra Lokanatha ubhavapi. Hey king, both you and me both are called as Lokanatha. Bahuvrihir aham Rajan Shashti Tatpurushe Bhavan. I am the Lokanatha as a Bahuvrihi Samasa. And you are the Lokanatha as a Shashti Samasa. Shashti Tatpurusha Samasa. The word Lokanatha, it can have 2 different meanings. One meaning is that Lokasya Nathaha, the leader of all the world, leader of all the citizens. This is a Shashti Tatpurusha Samasa. So it refers to the king. The king is the leader of all the kings. Lokanatha can also be split in another different way. Lokaha Nathaha Yasya Saha. That person who is having the the common people as his master. Lokaha nataha yasya saha. That person who is having the common people as a master. That means it refers to the beggar, because beggar considers all the common people as his master, because they are only going to give different money to him, give charity to him. So Lokanatha as a Bahuvrihi Samasa, it refers to the beggar. As a Shashti Tatpurusha Samasa, it refers to the king. Similarly, Rameshwara as the Shashti Tatpurusha Samasa, it means that Ramasya Ishwaraha, the worshipable Lord of Lord Ram. That is Shiva, the worshipable Lord of Lord Ram. So this means that Shiva is superior to Lord Ram. So all the Shaivites started glorifying Ramasya Ishwaraha. Shiva is worshipped by Lord Ram. So at that time, the Devatas appeared in the sky and they told that Rameshwara means what? Rameshwara means Ramascha Asau Ishwaraha. That means Rama is Ishwara, Shiva is Ishwara, and both are same. Both are equal. Rama is Ishwara, Shiva is Ishwara, so both are non-different. Like that, the demigods from the sky they spoke. So they gave the meaning of Rameshwara as a Karmadare Samasa. Karmadare, of course, is the technical word, but you can understand another type of Samasa, another type of compound word. Like when we say Pitambaram, it means Pitam, when you split it as Pitam tad ambaram, yellow cloth. It's a Karmadare Samasa. Pitam baraha, Pitam ambaram yasya saha. That person who is wearing the yellow cloth. Then it refers to the Bahuvrihi Samasa, it refers to the person who is wearing the yellow cloth. That means it refers to Krishna. Pitam ambaram yasya saha. But if you say Pitambaram as a Karmadare Samasa, it refers to yellow color. Yellow colored cloth. Similarly, Devatas, they explained the meaning of the word Rameshwara as a Karmadare Samasa. They said that Rama is Ishwara, Shiva is Ishwara, and both are God. Both are same. So at that time, Shiva could not tolerate the meaning given both by the Shaivites and by the Devatas. Then Shiva came out of his deity and then he told that the meaning of Rameshwara is that Ramaha Ishwaraha Yasya Saha. Ramaha Ishwaraha Yasya Saha. That means, and the meaning of Rameshwara is that person whose worshipable Lord is Lord Ram. My worshipable Lord is Lord Ram. That is the meaning of Rameshwara. That I am having the worshipable Lord as Lord Ram. Ram is my worshipable Lord. I am not superior to Lord Ram. I am neither equal to Lord Ram. Rather, Ram is my worshipable Lord. So then Lord Shiva came out of the deity and he gave the meaning of the word Rameshwara in terms of the Bahuvrihi Samasa, Ramaha Ishwaraha Yasya Saha. So therefore, in the human-like pastimes of Krishna and Ram, sometimes Lord Shiva assumes a superior position and accepts worship from Lord Krishna or Lord Ram. In the Aishwarya Gata, in the pastimes where Lord Krishna exhibits his majesty, Lord Shiva surrenders to Lord Krishna. That is the Aishwarya Gata Vichara. And in Tattva Gata Vichara, we saw that how Lord Shiva is the Shambhu. These are some points. With this, I'll conclude here. There's just any one question we'll take. 5 minutes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranam. Thank you so much. such a lot of information, and I love that you gave the insight that you have given into even the word Rameshwara, because my understanding was completely different. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, I just have a small question here. Oh, here they are referring to Lord Shiva as Sadashiva. It is Sadashiva who has come in this particular instance. So can you please explain a little more on the position of Sadashiva and why he was asked to come here? Because we have Ajita, who is, the Vishnu incarnation for this particular, at this particular time. So why was Lord Shiva, Sadashiva called?
No, the main reason which is given by the Acharyas is that Lord Vishnu wanted to glorify the position of Lord Shiva. He wanted to give credit to Lord Shiva, so therefore he told the Devatas to approach Lord Shiva. So the particular Lord Shiva's aspect, the Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Jiva Goswami explains, Sadashiva is the Vishnu Tattva in the Vaikuntha. And then there is the another aspect of Shiva Tattva who is in between the Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva. That is described in the Kshiram Yatha Dadi Vikara Vishesha Yoga. Sadashiva aspect is the Vishnu Tattva in the Vaikuntha. And then the aspect which is in between Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva is the Brahma Samhita Shloka. And then he also says that sometimes a living entity occupies the position of a Rudra, one of the expansions of Shiva. So, sometimes a living entity. Like one place it is explained that a living entity who performs Varnashram Dharma for 100 lifetimes, he is qualified to occupy the post of Brahma. And somebody who has served as Brahma for 100 lifetimes, he is qualified to occupy the post of Rudra. Such a Jivatma. In that way, there is the Vishnu Tattva, Sadashiva in the spiritual world, and there is the Shiva Tattva in between Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva, and also sometimes there is a Jiva Tattva who occupies the post of a Rudra. So here, in this episode, it's explained that it's not clearly, distinctly mentioned that they approach the Sadashiva in the Vaikuntha Loka. I think that's how it's not mentioned. The Shiva who is within the material world, with Devata Shiva, they approach that Shiva.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you for clarifying that. That was my question. And yes, I didn't explain it clearly, but you gave the right answer. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If anyone has any questions or realizations to share, please go ahead and unmute yourself. You can ask Prabhuji now. Okay, I don't see any hand raises. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Looks like there are no questions. Really appreciate you coming on the call after a long time. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We can end the call here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Anandakoti Vaishnavini ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. What a wonderful class. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for understanding class and
Jai.
Pranam.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.